I wait for this day all year, and finally it is the day that I plant my zinnias. So I try to be really careful not to plant these zinnia seeds too early. And like this year, for weeks I've been wanting to plant them, but the truth is, our plant out date is Mother's Day. And if I plant them too early, then it's not good. I could lose them. So I just have to make sure I wait till about a week and a half or 2 weeks before plant out date, which for me is Mother's Day. I don't have any containers left that are kind of appropriate for these types of seeds. So what I'm looking for is something that's kind of big and definitely kind of deep. So this is about a 5-inch deep area. And basically what I did is I took Milk Jugs and I cut out the non-handle side of it. So I'm going to show you in a minute how I cut that out. And I had watched the video years ago, and I tried to find out who did that video so I could refer you back to that channel, but I could not find it. But it was basically somebody going through like all the different ways that you could use Milk Jugs in planting. And he didn't do this specifically, but when I saw him doing different things with the milk jugs to plant in them, it just made me think, well, I would love a container that still has the handle on it so I can just kind of grab it and move the seedlings around. So I just cut it this way, and like I said, I'll be showing you in a minute how to cut this. But the zinnias are perfect in milk jugs because they like to kind of put their roots down pretty deep. And then I'm planting an entire packet in one milk jug. So you can imagine it's going to be quite a few plants. And it just gives it enough room for everything to grow. And they're only going to grow for a couple weeks, and then I'll be planting them out into the garden. But zinnias, I believe it says on the package, just like plant them in the garden. And that has never worked for me. This works for me. So planting them from seed in my little greenhouse, and it's just like a pop-up greenhouse I have. I just put them in this milk jug, and then when they're both growing, then on Mother's Day in my area, which is Bucks County, Pennsylvania, then I can just put them right out into the garden, and then off they go. So I don't feel like I lose many zinnias doing it this way. You can see I just kind of poked those scissors through. I almost like pinched an area at the bottom and just cut it, and that gives me a hole big enough where I could just stick the scissors through. And then I just cut the face of this milk jug off, and I do always get confused and cut the wrong area, but this is the area you want to cut. You just want to think of it that you want to keep that handle. And then on other things, I have cut the jug like lower, so it's like not as like this is 5 or 6 inches deep, and that works as well. I kind of like have an extra room in here. And I did see a video where somebody had said that this is almost like a mini greenhouse, and I so agree with that. I feel like these milk jugs just give like almost like an extra layer of protection to the seedlings. So if you have like a milk jug in the greenhouse, they really are protected. It's kind of a great thing. So I've found that growing seeds in these milk jugs really does work well. So happy to be doing this again. So I'm just filling this, and I got this trowel this year from the dollar store, and I really love it. It's just like huge, so I can get a lot of dirt all at one time. So I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm just going to fill this up to the top of where the plastic is, and then I'm planting the seeds, and I'm planting one with a lime green, and I labeled that, and then this other one with hot pink zinnias, and then I just put like a thin layer of soil on top. So probably a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch of soil, and then I just kind of gently pat it down, but not too much, because I don't want to pack these seeds in here. And then I'm just going to water it and put it on my shelves, and I'm just going to wait for them to germinate. So, but I am being really careful to keep these colors separate, because this year I want to do like some designs with the seedlings. I'm going to plant like 4 lime green and 1 hot pink, and then do the opposite in other gardens, do 4 hot pink and like 1 lime green. So when I'm putting the seeds in here, I'm just trying to spread them out as best as I can. Because the more that I do that and have like an even sowing here, the easier it is when I go to plant them. So zinnias do really well just planting them when they first germinate, but you do want to not have them growing into each other if you can help it. So here I'm just putting that last little layer of soil on top of the seeds. And then going to water them well. And then I'll just put them in my little greenhouse and wait for them to grow. So I'm excited about that. The birds eat the zinnias. They eat the seeds right out of the zinnias. They'll sit on them and eat them. So that's why I make sure that I plant zinnias every year, all around my yard, but especially in my bird garden. So I'll be showing you that. So thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it.